If you're lucky enough to have had a dog in your life, you've likely seen what happens towards the end of theirs. Stiff joints lead to less activity leads to muscle wasting and more fat, causing even more strain on their joints. It's a vicious cycle leading to a slow, painful death. Arthritis and longevity are two of the biggest open problems in the dog space, and I'm here to share with you a solution for both. There are roughly 80 million dogs in the United States. 20% of them are suffering from arthritis, and that number climbs towards 80% of senior dogs. That's 60 million arthritic dogs in the US alone. Pet owners currently spend on average $600 a year managing their dog's arthritis, but these frequent injections tend to just mask the pain as the disease progresses. Our solution? A single injection of a follistatin plasmid gene therapy, likely just once a year. Follistatin is not just treating the pain and the inflammation of arthritis, but it's also increasing the muscle tissue and reducing the fat tissue. Follistatin gene therapy has been shown to extend both healthspan and lifespan in lab animals. I know gene therapy may sound intimidating, but plasmids are like the henna tattoo of gene therapy. They do not permanently alter the animal's chromosomes. Rather, these circular pieces of DNA enter the cells near the injection site and attach to the cell's nuclei. Their gene sequence is read to produce follistatin, which is secreted into the blood and acts on the entire system. Follistatin is a naturally occurring protein in animals. It's elevated during puberty and while working out consistently. Follistatin addresses osteoarthritis through a number of mechanisms. Primarily, it reduces inflammation and pain by trapping a protein called activin A. Activin A drives joint inflammation. Follistatin binds to it and quiets the cycle down. Moreover, activin A sensitizes pain receptors. It makes nerves more reactive to pressure and heat, which is why arthritic joints hurt even when the structural damage is mild. By blocking activin A, follistatin reduces this pain sensitivity. Secondly, metabolic health. Follistatin promotes the conversion of white fat into metabolically active brown fat. This improves insulin sensitivity and restores mitochondrial function. Moreover, obesity is a major risk factor for arthritis, and these metabolic improvements feed back into reducing the load on the joints. Thirdly, muscle and joint stability. Follistatin is most known for driving muscle growth by inhibiting myostatin. More muscle around a joint means better support and less stress on the cartilage. This is especially relevant in older dogs where muscle wasting accelerates joint breakdown. Follistatin also seems to have a positive effect on bone structure. I'll include a list of the mechanisms of action in the video details below. Unlike most biotech startups, we already have human safety data. Some background context, I co-founded MiniCircle Inc. and acted as the study coordinator when they did their in-human phase 1 study in Prospera. We tested 43 humans and had no adverse events reported besides one case of diarrhea. We saw participants gain, on average, 2 pounds of muscle and lose a percentage of body fat after 3 months. To our surprise, 2 of the participants reported that they no longer took their arthritis medicine. They told me that their pain went away for months after a single treatment. This led me to test out the same therapy on my family's large arthritic dog, Skye. She was starting to slow down, declining to go on walks, crying in pain every other night for pain relief. After the follistatin treatment, these symptoms stopped. She became more active and stopped crying at night for around a year. And side note, this treatment was deemed safe enough by Brian Johnson, who took a double dose after the phase 1 study. I'll link his video down below as well. On the regulatory front, we plan on following Loyal's playbook to pursue canine longevity as well as arthritis as an indication. We could see conditional approval in around 4 years, with full approval in around 6. Our next big step is conducting a pilot study, which is the main objective for the current raise. Full details on the study are available in the appendix linked below. Regarding market size, the global companion animal pharmaceutical market is about $26 billion. The US canine arthritis treatment market is around $3.6 billion. Assuming we start with 0.1% market penetration at launch and ramping to 1.5% by year 5, Our year 5 serviceable obtainable market is roughly $250 million. A few tailwinds worth noting. 90% of pet owners consider their pets to be family members. This creates a relatively recession-proof market. Nobody wants to see their family members suffering. Pet insurance is projected to grow from about $5 billion to $25 billion by 2033, which would lower the out-of-pocket barrier for a treatment like ours. Lastly, the FDA has only recently started to evaluate longevity claims for canines, and we believe that this market will not just be massive, but will also be a crucial step in the adoption of human longevity interventions. On unit economics, our cost of goods is estimated between $200 and $500 per treatment, depending on the manufacturing scale. At a $1,000 price point, that's a gross margins in the range of 50 to 80%, which is strong for biotech and especially strong for veterinary. There are other arthritis treatments on the market, of course, but most of them just treat symptoms and require frequent injections. The exception, Adequan, is expensive to produce and has an unclear mechanism of action. No other treatment fights arthritis on multiple levels while also extending health span. The value proposition is clear. If you're already going to drop nearly $1,000 on your dog's arthritis, why not extend their lifespan as well? Our team spans gene therapy research, veterinary medicine, and biotech operations. I coordinated the study for the only follistatin gene therapy product to make commercial distribution, and my earlier work on an HIV gene therapy was covered in the Netflix docuseries Unnatural Selection. We have a veterinarian co-founder running patient recruitment and administration in LA, and advisors with experience across translational medicine and longevity biotech. We're aiming to raise $1 million at a $6 million valuation. These funds would cover the pilot study along with GMP source manufacturing. The exit landscape includes Zoetis, Elanco, and Merck Animal Health, companies already doing billions in companion animal revenue that don't yet have a disease-modifying therapy for arthritis in their pipeline. One last note, a number of companies are working on follistatin gene therapy for humans, but they are struggling with identifying the right disease indication that could actually lead to FDA approval. If the pilot study confirms that arthritis is well treated by follistatin, then we plan on licensing that data to these human biotechs. The bigger picture is that off-label usage of follistatin gene therapy could probably be very helpful for preserving muscle tissue during GLP-1 usage. This would be a massive market for both canines and humans. On the left is a photo of Sky, the first dog to receive this treatment 2 years ago. A brief update on where we are today. We filed a provisional patent for the application of follistatin gene therapy for canine arthritis and health span broadly. On the regulatory front, we've opened up a veterinary master file with the FDA Center for Veterinary Medicine, and we've enrolled in their veterinary innovation program for gene therapies. We're in talks with them to ensure that our pilot study is maximally useful for the later INAD application. On the science side, we're running preclinical tests to assess dependent variables for our study, such as biometric collars and videographic gait analysis. Early signals are encouraging. We're now 2 for 2 on arthritic dogs whose nighttime pain episodes resolved after treatment. It's anecdotal, but it's consistent with what we saw in the human trial. A pilot study with a delayed start control design is next, but only with your help. If you'd like to learn more or book a call, check out the links below in the video description. Thank you for your consideration, and let's make meaningful improvements in the health of our loyal companions.